Drake has just been hit with another devastating blow as his highly anticipated Iceman album has reportedly been canceled, sending shockwaves through the industry and leaving fans stunned. Sources close to OVO claimed the decision came after internal disputes, weak early feedback from executives, and concerns that the project lacked the power to compete with Kendrick Lamar's dominance. What was supposed to be Drake's big comeback quickly turned into an embarrassment. Promotional plans have been scrapped, and insiders say even streaming platforms were hesitant to back the album, fearing it wouldn't perform against Kendrick's momentum. Adding insult to injury, Kendrick Lamar seemingly took a shot during his latest live performance. Smirking to the crowd, he told fans, "Some folks freeze up when the pressure's on. Guess that's what happens when you're made of ice." The crowd erupted instantly, catching the reference and mocking Drake online. Social media exploded with memes and hashtags like #iced and #K.wins, trending worldwide. Many fans are now calling this the clearest sign, yet that Drake's run at the top is crumbling. For Drake, the Iceman collapse isn't just a canceled album. It's a public humiliation at the worst possible time. With Kendrick standing tall as the culture's clear winner, Drake's silence speaks volumes. There's even a theory about the Iceman title itself. Some say it connects to Chuck, the Iceman Liddell, the legendary UFC fighter. Liddell, a Mohawk brawler, became one of the first mainstream MMA stars. His nickname, the Iceman, came from his cold, calm demeanor in the octagon. In 2003, Liddell lost to Randy Couture, but 2 years later, in 2005, he came back and knocked Couture out in the first round to reclaim his title. Fans believe this story mirrors Drake's own vision, a fallen hero making a triumphant return. The symbolism is clear: the comeback, the redemption, the second chance. But instead of glory, Drake's Iceman era has become the symbol of collapse. Drake has now been exposed in full, revealed, as critics say, as human garbage and portrayed as one of the worst friends imaginable. This time, the criticism didn't come from rival rappers like Joe Budden or Kendrick Lamar. It came from someone who was once close to him, Young Thug. Despite Thug's own controversies and scandals, one thing fans agree on is his loyalty to Metro Boomin. He's never spoken ill of him, and that loyalty makes what he said about Drake even more damning. In a leaked call, Thug discussed the origins of the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef and the creation of We Don't Trust You with Metro and Future. The call revealed that even Thug, who was once in Drake's corner, thought Drake's actions were stupid. Coming from someone so close to him, the criticism carried massive weight. In the 27-minute call, Thug recounted the behind-the-scenes drama from 2022, around the time her loss and Heroes and Villains were being finalized. The issue stemmed from the song, Trance, where Drake's verse later leaked. Drake had been desperate to get the beat cleared by Metro Boomin, wanting to join Young Thug and Travis Scott on the track. But when Metro, grieving his mother's recent passing, refused, Drake kept pressing. Thug was disgusted. He said bluntly, "Your mom is gone. She ain't never coming back." He's not in the right space, and you're going to tell Drake, "I don't like that. I ain't clearing it." Thug made it clear that this wasn't just about business. It was about basic humanity. Drake's cold persistence showed zero empathy. Instead of offering comfort, he came off as insensitive and disconnected. This moment, more than anything, shattered Drake's reputation among peers. When you can't show compassion to someone mourning their mother, what does that say about your character? Thug's words confirmed what many had long suspected about Drake's true nature. Even Joe Budden's old criticisms now feel vindicated. What was once seen as bitter commentary is now validated by someone inside Drake's own circle. Thug's honesty made one thing crystal clear: Drake valued a beat more than a friend's pain. The absence of empathy here is staggering. In hip-hop, where loyalty means everything, Drake's actions exposed him as self-absorbed and disconnected from reality. This revelation explains a lot: why Metro Boomin, Future, and Travis Scott distanced themselves, why certain collaborations vanished, and why the industry seems to be turning its back on Drake. It's not just about music anymore, it's about integrity. No one wants to align themselves with someone labeled cold and insensitive. This isn't a PR issue, it's a moral one. For someone who built a career on charisma and relatability, Drake now looks detached and robotic. His peers have chosen sides, and loyalty favors Metro Boomin every time. To make matters worse, Rick Ross recently mocked Drake publicly, calling him a white man, reigniting their long-standing feud. This jab hit harder than expected because it reflected the growing sentiment that Drake's authenticity is gone. His once polished image now looks hollow. The cinematic rollouts, the visual teasers, the so-called experimental tracks, all of it feels lifeless. Iceman, branded as a groundbreaking multimedia experience, fell completely flat. What was supposed to be his rebirth became a creative disaster. Fans described the visuals as boring, the music as uninspired, and the energy as non-existent. For an artist who once thrived on cultural relevance, this is the ultimate humiliation, indifference. Drake's current problem isn't hate, it's apathy. The public no longer cares. Even the memes are slowing down. People aren't angry, they're just bored. And for someone who relied on attention as currency, this silence is deadly. Drake's career has always operated like an influencer's playbook. Stay visible, stay viral, stay relevant. But now, even his controversy can't spark engagement. Listeners check out his new material for a few seconds, shrug, and move on. The attention span that once fueled his empire has turned its back on him completely. Industry insiders predict that if Drake were to drop a new single or push the Iceman album right now, it would flop catastrophically. One critic even joked that both Iceman and Pinocchio share something in common. They're made of wood, and Drake's next album could go triple wood if released today. The humor hides a harsh truth. His brand has never been weaker. Episode 3 of Iceman didn't even introduce new music. Instead, it recycled an old track from For All the Dogs, showing creative exhaustion and uncertainty. The grand vision has collapsed into confusion. Even Drake himself must sense it. The risk of releasing another failure could end his career. And timing couldn't be worse. The upcoming release calendar is stacked with titans. Cardi B is set to drop her long-awaited sophomore album on September 19th with massive label support and marketing muscle. Her rollout includes physical editions, deluxe versions, and non-stop promotion. She's about to dominate the charts. Just a week later, on September 26th, another major artist drops. Then, on October 3rd, Taylor Swift releases her next project, a global cultural event that will swallow the entire industry. With Swift commanding streaming platforms, brands, and even NFL tie-ins, Drake doesn't stand a chance. Competing with these releases would be career suicide. That's why Iceman keeps getting delayed, perhaps indefinitely. The project's been internally shelved because everyone knows releasing it now would guarantee disaster.